You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? I'm your boy Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. This is a late night graveyard edition of the Fantasy Football News Desk, and we're going to hit some of the topics that are trending right now because, honestly, I don't want to wait until the morning. These are critical pieces of information that could help you not only trade, but maybe draft if you're drafting in the morning or whatever, because tomorrow, maybe you're not working. Maybe you're doing a draft. I need to make sure you're ready and prepared. Let's hit the news desk.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So the first player I want to talk about is this Isaiah Likely character that we've been talking up on the show for a ton of time. We might open up the phone lines, Drew C. Yeah. Isaiah Likely needs to be grabbed immediately. Dynasty, obviously. I've been talking about grabbing him in all Dynasty formats. We've been kicking around the idea for a good 2-3 weeks of picking him up in redraft and putting him in your tight end 2 spot. Because if you think about it for a second, what are you doing with your tight end 2, your backup tight end? What are you doing with that draft slot? Or that roster spot? It's got a Hunter Henry or a player you just really don't care about all that much. I like Everett as much as the next guy in LA, but why not put a guy like Likely on the bench? Let him maybe mature in triple and quadruple in value. Or if he busts, who cares? You cut him. You'll know in enough time if Likely is not the real deal that you can cut him. Like your tight end won't get hurt, will take some time to get hurt if he gets hurt, or there's bye weeks coming up. You have plenty of time to let Likely just sit there and mature on the bench. And if he's not good, you cut him and you pick up somebody else. If he is good, then you took a chance with your backup tight end and you let him sit there and gain value. We could be looking at, let's say Andrews gets hurt. It's not a crazy thing to assume or think that Andrews is going to face harder hits than ever, more double teams than ever, more aggressive hits than ever, more defensive coverage and defensive game planning headed his direction because the Ravens traded away the top wide receiver option to the Arizona Cardinals in Hollywood Brown. Likely is going to step in as not only potentially the number 3 wide receiver, which is what this piece of news right here talks about. The Athletic believes that the Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely is the closest thing to an answer that the Ravens have for a wide receiver 3, a third wide receiver option. Now, this didn't come from the team necessarily, but this is coming from beat reporters that are close to the Ravens situation. They see things at practice. They do hear things. We're looking at maybe the wide receiver 3 in Baltimore, and likely meaning he's getting on the field. He's likely to get on the field and get play, even if Andrews is fully healthy and fully, getting and absorbing his normal workload. Now, Andrews getting hit harder than ever, being focused on more. It's not crazy. It's not a crazy world to envision Likely getting into some starts as the starting tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. If he doesn't, he's still got potential to be a very low-end tight end 1 that gets used a ton. He's ultra efficient. He's going to be an end zone threat. And let's say the guy only gets 650 yards or 450 yards or 500 yards even. He still could, based on the rapport, based on the need for a player in the end zone, he could still get 7 or 6 or 8 touchdowns with a low yardage total. So he could absolutely be a low-end tight end 1 in fantasy football, even if Andrews doesn't miss a game. But if Andrews misses a game, Isaiah Likely could be a key component in the reason you win a league. So grabbing him as a tight end 2 on your team and stashing him, it only makes sense. There's no downside to do it at all. You're giving up on something that's not even a very good option in your backup tight end, I'm sure. This is Robert with a $19 hauler. Robert.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Robert, appreciate you, good buddy. Robert dropping the $19 hauler. Rate my team, 12 team. Burrow, Aaron Jones, Barkley, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, Tunyon, Mike Thomas. This is a good team. Hopkins, bench is pretty loaded. You got Walker, Hopkins, B-Rob, Nico Collins. Very, very good team. Barkley's not my favorite. I mean, you know that. Mike Evans isn't exactly my favorite. Keenan Allen isn't exactly my favorite. Like, I talk about my favorite players, and the guys I'm always targeting, and these guys are never guys that I usually target. But sum total, I mean, Barkley, Aaron Jones, Evans, and Keenan Allen, very, very well-rounded. Even a person that doesn't really target those names, I can look at your team and say your team is for sure a contender. Maybe you're one move away. That move could be your own player, like a Mike Thomas playing at an elite level. That could be the difference maker for you. Tony Pollard getting into the lineup. This one move you need to happen isn't necessarily a trade or a waiver wire request, but I most certainly would work that waiver wire like you've never worked a waiver wire before in your entire life. Because if you land the next Eli Mitchell, not only to prevent your opponent that might be close to you from getting that edge, but you getting the edge for your lineup and your team, the potential trade bait, then you're in the money. I would explore trading Mike Thomas and maybe Barkley for a Javonte or Swift if it's me. That's me. I would do that. Or Hopkins and Barkley for a Javonte or Swift. That's something that I would look to do if that was my team. Appreciate you, Robert, for dropping that $20 hauler. Can't thank you enough for helping keep the lights on here at the Fantasy Football Show. Good on you. You to the moon, pal.
To the moon.
Appreciate you. Next up, Matthew Stafford. Now, here's some conflicting news and reports we've been looking at here over the course of the day. We've got one report. The first report said, and this was coming from ESPN, that the Rams quarterback, Matthew Stafford, his elbow could be an issue all season long. Then later, McVay and Stafford came out and talked about it. And granted, we don't know if it's coach speak or player speak, but Stafford said he's got no problems. He did hesitate for a second, if anybody saw the interview, and when he was trying to say something like, I don't, never mind. Yeah, I'm fine. Like he was pausing. He was going to say something. He goes, yeah, I'm good. Other than, no, I'm good. Never mind. I'm good. He was going to say something, and it was like that hesitation was weird. But McVay came out and said that he has no limitations in practice or the game planning. And he was asked a follow-up question. Hey, McVay, are you worried about Stafford? Can he go out and throw 50 times in a game? Are you worried about that? Can he go throw 50 times in every game or whatever? Whatever, I'm paraphrasing. And paraphrasing again, McVay's answer was no problems, no concerns whatsoever about him going out and throwing 50 times. Probably coach speak, but we got to talk a little bit about this situation here. We got to talk a little bit about whether we're worried about Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson in this offense in general. I feel like, this problem, this elbow issue, I feel like it's something to be concerned about enough to say I'm not taking Cooper Kupp over Jefferson or Jamar Chase, but I think it's more reckless to assume that the elbow issue will be something when you're being told by Stafford and the coach themselves that it's a non-issue. I think you run more of a risk of assuming it is and letting somebody else come in and take Kupp because you keep passing on him or something. So would I, as TM42 says, fade Stafford? I would fade Stafford maybe, sure, because there's so many good options. But I'm not fading Cooper Kupp more than past, JJ and Jamar Chase, because it feels more reckless to fade Kupp past the top two wide receivers than it does to worry about or to buy in and get affected by this. So I would fade Stafford to a degree. I'm not really drafting Stafford anyway, not because he's not good. I'm just usually targeting different quarterbacks at different value ranges, and so I was never really going after Stafford anyway. Stafford's a good quarterback. I'm not too concerned about this. Stafford's probably going to throw similar numbers that he did last year. He'll probably be fine. Do I have some concerns about this lingering into the season and him slowing down or hitting a wall or being more susceptible to injury? Sure, a little bit, but I'm not targeting. It's not a knock on Stafford, but there are too many other quarterbacks that have a little bit more upside than Stafford that you're willing to draft as your starter. The quarterback pool is deep. And the fact that Joe Burrow, my favorite draft pick of all of 2022, we got 140 people in here and only 46 thumbs up. So if you could punch that button, I would appreciate it. Wipe your feet at the front door. Help your bro, Smitty. Help us get this to... We just passed 13K today, by the way, when I was sleeping. 13K right here. I put it up in the background here. 13K. Congratulations to everybody. Let's go.
Mashed potatoes!
Appreciate everybody. 13K here on the channel. Couldn't do it without you. I work for you. We're on our way to 20K. Let's get to 20K by the end of the month. Punch that thumb up button. That helps us grow. Leave a comment. I try to get back to every single comment. Sometimes I'm a day or two behind, but leave me a comment and let's go. Stafford, again, I'm going after Burrow, the best pick in fantasy football 2022 in round 6-7. I'm going after Jalen Hurts, an amazing pick in round 6-7. I would take Mahomes in late 4, early 5 if that fell to me, because I have so many shares of Burrow and Hurts that I could afford to maybe go in that direction in a draft where, let's say, Mahomes fell to 5.1. I'm taking Mahomes all day long. I'm punching that. But Stafford, are we worried about him? Sure. Are we worried about him? Sure. But do we put Kupp down more than 1 or 2 spots? No. You start getting crazy with Kupp, you're gonna regret it. Okay, so I definitely would stay away from Stafford a little bit, but I'm not staying away from Kupp. So that's how I feel about that. And again, Stafford should be fine based on what we're hearing. I'm not going to assume the worst. Rhamondre Stevenson, Bill Belichick said that Rhamondre Stevenson attention to detail and route running has certainly shown in practice. That's fantastic news. I think I might have missed another super chat here. This one's from Francisco, $5 holler. Francisco, appreciate you, good buddy.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Appreciate you, Francisco. You're the man. Francisco says, Smitty, 10-team PPR 5-spot, rating Chase, Fournette, DJ Moore, ETN, Breece Hall, Lucky, Lamar, London, Pierce. Oh, is that, tell me that's Damian Pierce. You got to put the initial there because there's Alec Pierce, Damian Pierce. It might be Alec Pierce because it looks like he's in the wide receivers. You might have got me excited. I thought we had a Damian Pierce sighting on our hands. Lazard, Irv Smith, Jordan, Joshua Paul. Maybe that is Pierce. Maybe that's the good Pierce. I like Alec Pierce a lot, but I think maybe this is Damian. I don't know. So your team's Chase, DJ Moore. You got it all spread out, so I'm trying to piece it together. Don't love Fournette. I don't love Fournette. You know that by now, so I can't possibly give you an A or an A minus or an A plus when you have Fournette on your team. But Chase, Fournette, DJ Moore, ETN. I love ETN Hall, ETN Hall, and Lamar and Chase is a good core. If that's Damian Pierce, you're at a B level for sure. If it's not Damian Pierce, you're borderline C plus to B. And I don't say that, Francisco, to like discourage you. Like, you did good. I just don't like Fournette. So that's what's going to get me. You know what I mean? You're going to get a biasly, negative rating on that alone. Because that's a high draft capital player. But I love ETN. I don't know if you got Fournette in round 2. If that was round 2, that's a no-go zone for me. Round 3 is a no-go zone for me for Fournette. I'm staying clear of Fournette in round 3, let alone round 2. So it's going to be hard to get, a full score for me. Let's see. Did he say, Francisco, did you say Damian Pierce? Actually, good. Damian Pierce. So now you've got ETN, Damian Pierce, Fournette, Breece Hall. Fantastic. And you got Jamar Chase, DJ Moore, and Lamar. I'm going to give you a B minus. I think there's room for improvement. B minus is a good score for a team that has Fournette on it. Let me just tell you. So you did absolutely fantastic. And guess what? You could, if you wanted to, trade Fournette and Lockett, Fournette and London, Fournette and DJ Moore for maybe a Swift or Najee or Javonte or Eckler. I would go down that road. Bro. I like your team a lot. You did a good job. There's some good components there. Thank you for the super chat, Francisco. Please feel free to do so anytime. I'm always going to give you my honest approach, even if you super chat. So I apologize if that's not exactly what you wanted, but a B minus is pretty darn good. Smitty doesn't like anyone with injury history. He says he stays away, says above orbit. Not necessarily, bro. Because ETN had a season-ending injury last year, bro. Joe Burrow had a torn ACL. I don't think you can really say that about me. I think what you can say is that if a player's older and has injury history, yes, and smartly, I will stay away from those players. Rightly so, bro, because you couple wearing down of the body on top of injury history, and you have what you call a potential multiple red flag disaster on your hands above orbit. But I don't think you can say anybody injured I stay away from. Dalvin Cook was one of my biggest predictions I've ever had on the video side of my content. When I first launched my channel, it was Dalvin Cook season. In the intro video of every video I did, I put him in there. He was at 18 to 25 overall pick, Dalvin Cook. That was my breakout prediction on the video platform because I've been doing content for 20 years written. But on the video side, that was my first year with my YouTube channel. I put it in the intro video to make it known that this was said at the beginning when Dalvin Cook was an 18 to 25 overall pick, coming off a torn ACL in a busted season with a bad hamstring the year after the ACL. And I said top 5 running back, every single intro video of my show, my first year. And everyone was doubting Dalvin Cook. But not your boy Smitty. So you can't say that I don't trust players that have been injured. You know what I'm saying? All right. This news real quick before I go to the super chats. I'll say I'm real excited about this from Coach Bill talking about Stevenson. He didn't commit to Stevenson being his every down back or anything like that, but I think everything's pointing up for Rhamondre Stevenson. Very exciting player to own right now. Could be a top 8 to 15 running back. I put a wide range in there because I want to make sure nobody's taking him too early or expecting him to be a top 10 lock. He's got the potential to get inside that top 10. But most certainly he's going to be like a 8 to 15 guy because he could linger all around that range. 201 of you in here, only 74 thumbs up. Punch that thumb up button and let's go. So Rhamondre Stevenson, love him as a flex play. Top 8 to 15 wide range, top 8 to 15 potential in 2022. Curb expectation. Don't expect it. Know what you're getting into. You got a player that's got a lot of risk with Bill Belichick, but a very, very, very solid option in 2022. I absolutely love them. Appreciate the super chat by you guys. I'll give you a standing O's as we go. This one's from Master, $10 hauler. $10 hauler from Master. Master says, just had a draft 2 QB Superflex tiered scoring 0.5 PPR. You got Allen, Josh Allen. You got Andrews. Let me put this over here and make this bigger here, so everybody can read it. You got Josh Allen, Andrews, Lamb, Zeke, Damian Pierce. Thank you for providing that D Pierce, so I know which one it is. Pollard, Penny, Harris, Renfro, Gabe Davis, Baker, Likely. I like the boldness of Likely. We're talking about Likely at the top of the show. Make sure you go back and watch. Likely is a guy I absolutely love, and we've been talking him up for a couple weeks now, and you need to grab him. I like a 2 QB. Okay, 2 QB Superflex tier scoring. Okay, so Andrews, fantastic tight end to have in a, if it's is it premium? I don't know if it's tight end premium. 2 QB. So Josh Allen. Who's your other quarterback? Baker. Josh Allen, Andrews, Lamb, Zeke, Pierce, Pollard, Penny, Harris, Renfro. I like it, bro. You need something though. You know, Gabe Davis is a great wide receiver. You do need something. I would say I'd try and trade. You got Zeke and Pollard, which is nice, but I try and get out of Zeke. I try and retain Pollard. I know it's hard to trade Pollard without Zeke, but or trade Zeke without Pollard. But I would try and trade maybe Zeke and Gabe Davis for like one bigger gun. But that's me. I'm not a huge fan of Zeke. I think Pollard's the better player. I think Pollard rises up anyway. You've got Pierce, you've got Lamb, you got Andrews, Josh. I'd love to have a bigger gun. I'd be looking to do that move and see if you can get into just a bigger name player. And you know the guys to go after. You know, even if it's a Javonte, a Swift, or a Najee, or an Eckler, those are all very good options. I love trading into a low first round running back. You know, right around that 8 to 12 range. That's where they're at. That's where the good stuff is in terms of the running backs. I'd rather have Javonte over JT. I'm a little worried. Tomorrow's show might be about JT. I'm not saying we don't take JT at 1. I'm not saying that. And I will make it abundantly clear what my angle is and what my objective is in terms of the advice and what I want you to do with it and the takeaway from it. I'm not saying JT's not the 1.1. What I'm saying is I'd rather have Javonte Williams. And that comes with a trade down advantage or a trade advantage post-draft where you could take, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, where you can take JT, turn him into Javonte and something. And if you ask me, would you rather just have JT and ride it out? I've been torn on it. I've wanted Javonte in a lot of leagues. I've wanted JT in other leagues. I'm now to the point now where I'm going to tell you straight up, 10 times out of 10, Javonte Williams and more is 100% what I want over just JT every time, or Swift in something. I'm going to tell people to make these trades. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. And so know that we're going to have more information on that. Derek with a $10 hauler.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Derek, my man. Derek says 10-team full PPR 1 QB, Dak running back, CMC, James Conner, Antonio Gibson, Hunt, and Hubbard. Wide receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Hollywood Brown, Gabe Davis, Ayuk, Gage, Joshua Palmer, and tight end Pitts. I love seeing the Pitts at the end there. That's fantastic. So Dak, 1 QB, Dak, CMC, Conner, Gibson, Sneaky, Lamb, Cooks, Hollywood, Kyle Pitts. I like it. I feel like it, like a couple of teams. Thank you, PTP. I feel like a couple teams, or a lot of teams, you just need that one move. Everybody's kind of one move away. Because the reason I say that is not because it's an easy, lazy answer. It's that most drafts, there are going to be 3 or 4 teams that are very close and equal. And those are the 3 or 4 teams that when you walk out of a draft, I like that team, that team, that team. There's usually 4, maybe 5, but usually 3 or 4 teams that feel like they're tied. And you don't know, it could go one way or the other for these teams. Whenever I tell you you're one move away, usually that means I think you're in one of the top 4 or 5 teams like that. But I don't feel like you're a standout. Like looking at this team, I can tell, Derek, that it needs one thing. Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It just means you need one thing. Connor is expendable and a high value guy. Brandon Cooks is expendable and a high value guy. I trade Cooks or Gabe Davis or Hollywood Brown, whichever one can get the deal done, go along with Connor to upgrade into one bigger player, i.e. Javonte Swift, Najee, the Eckler, the usual suspects. That's what I do with this team. That puts you over the edge. Work the waiver wire like a monster, and you will not be stopped. That is my advice for you. I appreciate your super chat. Thank you, Johnny and Jaden. I got you listed here. We'll go to you next. Jordan is next, and then KCM. Did I get KCMs? I don't think I did. KCM, let me put you right there. Derek Just, I appreciate you, Derek. Master. I think Landon's I got on screen. So I think we're good. Derek Just dropping another super chat like an absolute monster. Derek, I appreciate that. Let's get to that after I answer these questions. Jaden Wenzel. Jaden, I appreciate you dropping yours. I think I got Jaden's on screen. Okay. So let's go to KCM. KCM says, could have done better. 10-man PPR. Adam Swift, Keenan Allen, Elliott, Judy, Burrow, Hawkinson, Thielen, Pollard. No. Who's no? What are you trying to say there? I'm trying to think like what is no? What is that supposed to be? I don't know. My mind's fried too, so I'm trying to think of who is he trying to write. No. Gallup, Algier, rate my team. Could have done better at the 10. Adam, Swift, Keenan, Elliott, Judy, Burrow. I don't hate it, but I feel like, yeah, who was your first rounder was Adams, your second rounder was Swift, or vice versa. What did you reach on? You reached on Keenan Allen in 3. Not that he's that big of a reach. A lot of people agree with you. He's a third-round player. But then you couple that reach with a reach on Elliott. That's where I think you went wrong. That's where this team feels like it's missing like its third-round pick. It feels like Adams is a first. Swift is like a borderline first, second. So you did good there. You got 2 top 14, in my book, two top 12 players. I like Swift and Adams both in my top 12. So you're ahead of the game, KCM, at this point. But to me, Elliott and Keenan are both fourth rounders, so it doesn't feel like you have a third rounder. And then on top of that, I'm just not liking Elliott. I like Keenan in round 4. I don't like him in 3. I realize I'm not a moron that you're probably going to have to take him in round 3 to get him, but that's why I'm kind of passing on him a lot. So that's the problem here for me. Could you trade Judy and Elliott for, I don't know, the usual suspects? Obviously Javonte Swift, you got Swift already, Javonte, but I'm trying to think if there's another mediocre, or not mediocre, middle round running back that you could trade for. Elliott and Judy for, I mean, I don't know what running back you could attack. Like Chubb feels a little risky. You could go after Chubb, I suppose, but I don't know that I love that. It's probably better than Elliott and Judy, though. Aaron Jones would be somebody you could attack. I like the fact that Pollard's waiting in the wings, but I like the team. It's just, it needs something, bro, and I'd go along those lines. That's the direction I would take it. Derek Just with another super. I'll put that on screen. paper. Thank you, Yoshi, for putting that up there. I'll set it there and come to it. Jordan with the super chat. Jordan.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Pull up these pants here. Rate my team. Herbert, Devontae W. I think that's Devontae. Is that Devontae Smith or Devontae Adams? I don't know. You guys are killing me with the spelling and the abbreviations and the extra initials. My team is Herbert. I believe it's Devontae Adams. I'm going to roll with Devontae Adams. ETN, Jamar Chase. Maybe it's not. Jamar Chase. It's probably Devontae Smith. Can I get some clarification here, Jordan, real quickly before we move on? I want to set this aside and make sure I answer this properly, because I feel like I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I'm reading wrong too, but I don't think so. This one's from Landon. Landon with the super.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Landon, my boy. Smitty, who should I start in my flex spot? 1 point bonus every 100 yards. Hollywood. I don't know what Pierce that is. I'm going to assume it's Damian Pierce. Gabe Davis, not Gabe Davis. And Singletary. It's okay, Landon. Autocorrect is brutal. I'm going to say if it's Damian Pierce, it's Damian Pierce. Smash it. If it's not, if it's Alec Pierce, give me Gabe Davis. Give me Gabe Davis. Devontae Williams or Javonte Williams? Now you're confusing me even more, bro. You're saying Devontae W, and then you're confirming Devontae Williams. It's got to be Javonte Williams, right? I'm pretty sure it's Javonte. Let's roll with Javonte. Devontae Adams. Jordan, what are we dealing with here? Javonte. Here, we got it. We'll piece it all together. We got 8 different messages. All right, here we go. Wavante. Here it is. Emperor says it's Wavante. I don't know. I think we got it down. Okay, Jordan. Jordan, now I'm really liking your team all of a sudden. So Jordan's got quite a squad here. Devontae. Look at Rock out with $20 hauler. He's getting a moonshot.
To the moon.
To answer that one, but Rock out. Hold on, okay? Appreciate you. Levante. Devontae. I love how it was the double wrong spelling. Okay, so Herbert, Javonte. Man, that hits better. Herbert, Javonte, ETN, Jamar Chase, Adam. How do you get Adams too? Jordan, who did you rake over the coals? Hall, Gabe Davis, Burrow? You're coming in here, you want a rating? We don't have ratings past 10, Jordan. I can't rate a team past 10. I'm only equipped to give a 10 out of 10. You're asking for something that's impossible. I think I'm giving my first 10 out of 10 this season. I've never done it yet. It's always been a 9. Always leaving room for improvement. But how can you improve when you've got Devontae and Javonte on the same team? Burrow, A.J. Dillon on the bench, MT on the bench. What are you playing in a 4-man grandma league? This is at the nursing home. What are you doing?
You've just been Smitty approved.
That's one of the best teams I've seen all year. Jordan's like this. What do you think of my team? What do you think? Yeah, is my team okay? That's what I got. 4-man league. 4-man league with grandmas, bro. What are we doing here? What does this come to? Rock out dropping the $20 holler.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Rock out with a $20 holler. Matt dropping the $10. You're going to get a moonshot one.
To the moon.
Matt. Thank you, Matt. Rock out. Let's see here. 12-team league. Lance, Cousins, Swift, Javonte Williams, Singletary, Herbert, Pacheco, B-Rob. Put him on IR. Get another player. AJB, McLaurin, A-Rob, Olave, Envious, Alec Pierce. Schultz was doing good my first 8 picks. Then it was an error. Got auto-selected on Singletary. That's okay. Instead of Gibson. Gibson would have been a big difference maker. I'm not going to lie. But he would have been a difference maker for making your team, I would say, like an A- to an A+. You know what I mean? Like Jordan got our first and only 10 so far this year, but this is close too. I mean, look, the only reason you're not getting a 10 is because you have Lance, and I like Lance, but instead of like Burrow or something, like then I probably would be handing out 10s, double fisted 10s tonight. it'd be 10 night. It'd be giving out 10s. Everybody, you're not first, you're last. Usually is the case, but tonight everybody's first apparently. And it's not just because you dropped a $20 hauler, but Lance, Cousins, Swift, Javonte Williams, Singletary, Herbert, Pacheco, B-Rob. You're good at running back. You're good at running back, bro. You are fine. What I've liked to Pollard or Dillon just sitting there. Yeah, maybe I can't have everything, right? Pacheco's really, really good. Herbert's really, really good. Those guys could rise up. B-Rob coming back potentially. Gibby would have been key though. Gibby would have put you just a little bit over, but maybe you could trade Singletary and something for Gibby. AJB, McLaurin, and A-Rob is very crafty, bro. Schultz, I mean, it's only a couple tight ends you could upgrade it, to from Schultz. Would I trade Singletary and Allen Robinson or Singletary and McLaurin for a slightly better receiver? Go get a Deebo Samuel. You already have A.J. Brown, but that type of player, yeah, rock out. But that's all you can do. That's a phenomenal team, man. Nice job. Easily, an A minus, easily. And this one's from Michael. Michael, appreciate you, good buddy, kind sir. Smitty, what's up? Have my first pick in a 10-man half PPR. My team is JT, Javonte, Barkley, Kittle, Keenan Allen, Judy, and Lance. Might be taking a chance on Judy, but feel good about it. I trade Barkley for a wide receiver, and because it's a running back, the draft capital is a lot easier. Hey, G Money, what's up? G Money, DM me on Instagram. I think you already did. DM me again real quick. I need to add you to the YouTube exclusive membership group chat, and so that way Sunday you're good to go. I'm sorry I got it late. I've got so many things going on, but just give me a nudge on Instagram, and I'll add you to that chat for this coming Sunday. If anybody else wants to be on the YouTube exclusive memberships, all you have to do is be a subscriber at the $9.99 level, the $9.99 level, which you can just do it for 1 month if you want. You don't have to commit to anything, but go ahead and this is the link right here. I'm going to go ahead and pin that in the live chat, and this link right here is where you go to get your YouTube exclusive memberships. We do 2 Zoom calls every Sunday, 40-minute calls at halftime of the morning games on Zoom. You could turn your camera off, your mic off. I go on video. I show the marker board, and we start. I show the marker board, and we just do waiver wire stuff. Who the players looking like the guys we should trade. So halftime of the morning games, halftime of the Sunday evening game. 2 Zoom calls, 2 40-minute calls, and all it costs you is $9.99 for the month. And you can do it in 1 month and cancel if you don't want to do it. Downgrade into the $1.99 membership where you still get the emojis and all the shout outs and stuff just to help the channel. So thank you, G Money. I'll throw you over there. I got your super chat on screen too. Michael, without further ado, Michael's team here. Michael, I apologize for the wait. Michael says, Smitty, what's up? Have my first 10 team. Oh, okay, I already did this one. JT. Yeah, so trade Barkley for a wide receiver. And what I was saying was when you draft a guy like Barkley, right? And we have 261 in here, 106 thumbs up. Can we get a thumb up? Everybody punch the thumb up button. Let's get that over 2 bills, please. When you get a running back and you come out of your draft, so many people have running back remorse, like non-drafting running back remorse. Like, I should have drafted more running backs. I thought they'd last. You can literally go get a player, a wide receiver, using a running back like Barkley, coming out of your draft and grab a player well above or at least above where you drafted Barkley. You know, when people say, well, why didn't you just draft him if you're going to trade that player for that player? You could pull that kind of move off where you get a receiver that was drafted ahead of Barkley because someone miscalculated and they don't like the running back room and they have regret. So you have such good running backs. You have JT and you have Javonte, and I don't know what all your depth looks like, but if you even have a Pollard or anybody like that, I'm taking Barkley and I'm trading him straight up for a Deebo, straight up for a Diggs, straight up for a Tyreek Hill. And then I'm balancing this team out slightly. That's what I would do with it. Unless you love Barkley, he's your favorite player, you don't care what I think on that, that's fine. But that's where I would take it. Your team's looking really good. You've got borderline A- material, at least with that team. You are for sure in it. One waiver wire, even if you don't touch it and you keep Barkley, you're one waiver wire land, getting the top waiver wire guy or one of them from being the team to beat in your league. I fully believe that looking at your squad. This $20 hauler from Ramos. So what do we out of control here?
Mashed potatoes!
Out of control here. Ramos, appreciate you. Let's send you to the moon as well.
To the moon.
I'm sending people to the moon. I'm sending people to the moon when they drop these $19 haulers. Like, give me a break. 10-man full PPR. Kyler Murray. Running backs JT and ETN. Love it. AJ Dillon. I love the AJ Dilly. B. I don't know who B is. Is that Brian Robinson? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? B. I got B. You know, Brian Robinson. I think. I mean, that's what I'm guessing. B. Yeah, I don't know any other B. I mean, that's his nickname. Who else is nicknamed B? Kenneth Walker, 13th round. Wow. Wide receivers are CD, St. Brown. Love St. Brown. St. Brown.
To the moon.
St. Brown. Where's the moon man? Where's the moon man? Where's my moon man list? Come on. Where is it? Moon man.
The moon man. Dropping loads in outer space.
Look at St. Brown sitting there. Bottom corner. Right next to Lamb. It's a moon man if I've ever seen one. Love me some St. Brown, bro. Just love St. Brown. Ayuk, Elijah Moore, very good. Andrews traded St. Brown for Javonte, accepted. So let me say something for a second. I just got done pumping St. Brown, and I didn't read the rest of the super chat yet. He just traded the guy I pumped up for a guy. Just when you go and do something, you couldn't possibly be any dumber. You go and totally redeem yourself, and you get yourself a moon man. Let's go. He's upgrading from a moon man
He's on a shuttle
to a Mars man.
Mars man.
Phenomenal. You traded a guy that I've got a button for, absolute monster in St. Brown, and traded him for a guy I even like even better. This is like taking the shaggin' wagon and turn it into the motorcycle. Absolutely phenomenal job. Absolutely amazing. Let's give Ramos a round of applause for being a magician, an amazing super chatter, and a darn good fantasy football owner, I should say. Let's evaluate his team. I like how he set us up, too. Gave us his team and then told us, hey, it's different. Kyler Murray, JT, ETN, and Javonte. How did you pull that off? Traded St. Brown for Javonte. How'd you even do that? Ramos? That's going to get vetoed, bro. Hope you don't have vetoes in your league. Okay, so now we're looking at your team. Kyler Murray. Let's write this on the board. Okay. Before we give this a 10, because we've only given out one extra 10 this year. We've only given 1 10. Let's get to Ramos' super chat. Ramos, here we go. Okay. So you've got Kyler. I just got to see it written out like this. You know, I'm a visual person. So we've got Kyler, we got JT, Javonte, ETN, AJ Dillon on the bench, CD, Elijah Moore, Andrews, Ziggy off. Come on, Andrews. We'll put Andrews right here. Ziggy off. Unbelievable. Ziggy. Dylan. Unbelievable. Walker. This team is fire. This team is straight fire. Kyler, JT, Javonte, ETN, CD Lamb, Elijah Moore, Mark Andrews, Walker, Dylan. The only thing you can do, bro, is trade Dylan and Elijah Moore for one slightly better player, like a AJ Brown. AJ Dilly for AJ Brown. Go do that. I mean, I don't know if you can do that. I'd even give this, if I had to, I'd even do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just phenomenal, bro. Just phenomenal. Unbelievable what you've done with the place. I'm going to give you a 9.5 until you make that move. No, that's a 9.99. That's a 9.99.
To the moon.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. On to the rest of the super chats here. Thank you, Ramos. You're the man. You're the man, Ramos. B equals Rhamondre Stevenson. What? What? What are you talking about? B equals Rhamondre Stevenson. How? How? Okay. You heard it. You heard it from Ramos. From now on, we're calling Rhamondre Stevenson B. You got B? Okay. I'm going to try and remember this. Go forward. Alvaro.
Mashed potatoes!
Alvaro says, rate my auto pick team. Come on, Alvaro. Rate your auto pick team. That's the most depressing thing I've heard all night. You know, you didn't even get to participate in this. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. I don't think I'd even be... If I had an auto team, I know this sounds shady, but I couldn't deal with it. I'd give it to somebody. I'd contact one of my followers, say, take this team. I don't even want to look at it. It's disgusting. It's not my team. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. 10 PPR. Burrow, Najee, Hall, Adams, Hill, Higgins. Whoa, that's good. I'll take that team. Burrow, Najee, Hall, Adams, Hill, Higgins. I like this team. Bro, the computer did you a solid. I would say this one's Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I'd keep it, bro. I don't know. Don't listen to what I was just saying. This is a good team. Trades you can... Higgins, too? You got Higgins, too? I just saw Higgins. Adams, Hill, Higgins, Hall, Najee, Burrow. That's pretty good, man. Trade Deontay and Dobbins for like a Debo. And, bro, you won. You won. On an auto team, you won. Make one trade, you won. Alvaro is getting an 8.5 score on an auto team, bro. That's crazy. I was expecting to roast the man. He who collects. What's up, man? Drop your question. Here it is. I'll put this right here. Appreciate your super chat. I'm gonna put you over in the corner. Thank you for dropping that $5 holler.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Next up is G Money. Let me see if I can move these up here. Hold on. Let me move all these super chats real quick. And that one. And that one. That one. That one. I think we're good. Okay, so let me go back over to the board. It's a little easier to go to the board. Okay. So we got all these super chats here. Let me move these into the corner. We'll go one at a time. We got G Money's first. We'll put these in the corner here, and I'll get to each one of these questions. We'll do them all on the board here. Derek Just, appreciate you. Here's another one right here. Okay, and we'll get the skeleton foot out of the way. So D Money's question is as follows. And by the way, thank you for the $20 hauler.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
D Money says Jefferson in round 1. JJ in round 1. Okay. CD AJ Brown. This is an interesting build. AJB. I like where we're headed with this. This is unique. This is unique. 4th, Dameon Pierce, Dalton Schultz. So Dalton. Pierce. Burrow, Pollard. Okay, so you're pretty weak at here, but I mean, Pollard could work out. And Burrow. So let me just start off by saying this. Naturally, people are going to say, this is crazy. I don't like, you show this to somebody, they're like a real lazy analysis will be, I don't like your running back too. Well, of course you don't like his running back too, Bob. He's got JJ, CD Lamb, and AJ Brown. You know what I mean? And Dalton Schultz. That reminds me of Andy Dalton. Let's put Schultz. Let's give Schultz the proper respect he deserves. And you got, yeah. So I would say, is this Superflex? I don't think it's Superflex, no. It's tough. I mean, it's tough because, like, you need this to land. I would say if Pollard lands, you could win the league. If Pollard doesn't land, you're still in it, and you're just one waiver move away. You certainly put yourself in a bind here, but for good reason because of these WRs. Burrow's amazing. I don't really necessarily want to trade any of these guys because even if you traded a JJ for, like, let's say, a Javonte and St. Brown, that would be interesting, and I probably would consider it. But I think I try and work the waiver wire and using trades, using depth and bench, like if Algier pops up, if Kenneth Walker is gone. Algier pops up, if Brian Robinson comes in and becomes strong. Like, try and work this in a way that doesn't touch this. I'd probably give it a go. It seems like a fun and interesting team. I don't think I'd dismantle it because maybe the running backs didn't work out the way you want. Pierce is good enough, you know, to roll in and try this with. So I like the team. Appreciate you, good buddy. This question here is from he who collects. Russell Wilson, JJ Pittman, Javonte Williams, I assume. Yeah, Denver. Tony Pollard, Kittle, St. Brown, Stevenson, or B. Walker, and London. So this is a good team too. I just like to write it out. I'm not going to write out everybody's, but let's write it out. So let's put on his bench. He's got B on the bench. Put B there, just for good measure. JJ, Pittman, Javonte. I'll spell it out. We apparently got a problem with not spelling it fully. Javonte, Pollard, Kittle, St. Brown, Russ, Pollard, Kittle, St. Brown. It's a good team. It's a good team. I think maybe you trade. I think Pittman was a little early. I don't know if you took Pittman. Where did you take Pittman? You took Jefferson, then you took Javonte, and then I think you took Pittman next. It's a little early for me. I don't love Pittman in round 3 because of this, because it leaves you feeling like you've got a good team. Javonte and JJ are phenomenal. But it leaves you looking. This is why Pittman's not good in round 3. It's not that I don't like him. It's just the teams can come out a little light. I love the Kittle pick. This is weighted pretty good. JJ, Kittle, Javonte, Russell Wilson. It's got some good weight and balance. You just need this to hit so badly. And you need this to hit or you lose the league because of the pick. So I think it's possible that you land this. But, and I love St. Brown there. But I just feel like it is one move or the big waiver wire person away from being the top dog. But you're certainly a top 6 team coming out of the draft. Like, your draft was that good. You're a top 6 team. Paper, appreciate you.
Mashed potatoes.
Paper, 12-team PPR, 3 wide receivers. I got Hurts, Jefferson, Moore, Godwin, Smith, Eckler, Javonte, ETN, Pierce. Absolutely fire. Who do I trade to get Pierce off my bench? God, you got Hurts, JJ. Who's Moore? Is that DJ Moore? I assume it's DJ Moore. Godwin. Okay, so let's fill your lineup out. Do you guys like it better like this, or do you like it better? I'll try it this way, and you tell me which way you like it better. So Hurts, Running backs are Javonte, Etienne, and Pierce. Wide receivers are JJ, DJ Moore, and D Smith. JJ, DJ, and Smith. Do you guys like it better written like that? Up and down is better, says SG. Lois, appreciate your super chat. I'm going to put you right here. Thank you, Raul. I'm putting you right here. Did I get any others? He Who Collects, I got you. Ramos, I got you. Alvaro, I think I got Alvaro. Burrow, Najee Hall. Oh, yeah, the auto pick. Okay. Other ways better helps organize and see the depth. I took 4. Okay, guys, keep telling me which way you like better. This way. Okay, so I'm gonna say if you start 2 running backs and you can't start a flex, I assume you have a flex. Pierce is already your flex. I'm putting Devontae Smith on the bench. So your 2 wide receivers are JJ, DJ. If you can only start 2 running backs, then and you're saying you can't get Pierce because you're right here saying, who do I trade to get Pierce off your bench? How are you putting Pierce on your bench? So paper, let me know what you're thinking on that. Like why aren't you starting Pierce as your flex? Up and down. I'm getting a lot of votes for up and down. Rock out, appreciate your super chat. I'm going to put you right here, good buddy, and I'll acknowledge that one in a second. I have Eckler. Where's Eckler? How did I miss Eckler? Oh my God, I missed Eckler. Good God. Bro, how did you get Eckler? So Pierce? Oh my God. Dude's got Eckler. Dude's got Eckler on his flex. Or no, Etienne is his flex. Okay. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you. So Eckler, Javonte, Hurts, JJ, DJ Morris is a fire team. So I'm trading either Pierce and DJ for one better wide receiver, or I'm trading Etienne and DJ for one better elite wide receiver. And who's your tight end? You could go after a tight end as well if you wanted, but I think I would probably rather keep. God, who do I keep? I would do whatever one gets you the biggest draw. So you're going to take DJ Moore out of your lineup. You're going to put either Etienne or Pierce into your lineup. So let's say you can sell Pierce more right now. I know you want Pierce. Actually, you want Pierce in your lineup, so let's sell Etienne. So we're going to take Etienne out. We're going to put Pierce in. And we're going to say that you could trade Etienne and DJ Moore easily for a Jamar Chase or an Adams at the very least. Like, so let's just say it's Adams, which I feel like you could get Chase. I feel like Adams isn't even enough, maybe, but let's call it Chase. Like, how do you not get Chase for Etienne and DJ Moore? And if they don't take that, I give them Pierce and DJ Moore for Chase and put Etienne in your flex. I don't think I'd be married to Pierce or Etienne. I think I would take whatever got you the wide receiver. But if you get yourself Hurts, Javonte, Eckler, Pierce, JJ, Chase, it's game over. It's almost already game over, but that's game over. That's game over. That's game over. I love that team. Phenomenal. William, appreciate you. I don't think people are willing to trade big names for those running backs, to be honest. I think if you're giving DJ Moore and ETN, you should be able to get an Adams. You should at least be able to get a Diggs. That's a lot. That's a lot of talent. CeeDee Lamb potentially too. Adams is like sometimes he's a 9 or 10 overall. Sometimes he's a 13 or 14 overall player. ETN's going in round 3. DJ Moore's going in round 4. You could easily get an Adams, a Diggs, or even a Debo or a Jamar Chase potential guy. Absolutely. Maybe not everyone's going to accept that, but you should be able to poke around at each one of those combinations and try and get one. It might take you ETN and DJ or Pierce and DJ. Pierce is a lot of value right now. People want Pierce badly. He's going at the top of 4 in some cases. Nicholas says ETN and DJ Moore for Jamar Chase is a good time for bed. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and send him off to bed now. So there, Nicholas, is that good? Oh wait, he's not here to answer. Chase is untouchable in some cases. In some cases, he's not. Some people you just don't trade. True. But you're swinging for the fences, guys. We're not trying to do a deal where you're doing an even Steven trade. You're trying to rake someone over the coals. I'm never going to tell you to do a trade that's good for both parties. I mean, you're going to do a trade that's good for both parties to keep the relationship good. But you can certainly get like a Diggs or somebody like that. Okay, next question. This one's from Derek. Derek Just says, 10-team PPR, 2 QB Carr. Running backs are Chubb, Fournette, Dillon, Pollard, Penny, McKissick. Wide receivers are Adams, Michael Thomas, Judy, Olave, Ayuk. Carr, who's your other quarterback? 2 QB Carr. You only have Carr? The 2 QB, that's a little rough. I don't like Fournette, Derek Just. I've told you that. Is this a different team or same team? I'm not a big fan of Fournette, bro. I'm not a big fan of Fournette. Ask Brian. I don't know how he got Eckler and JJ on that other team. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Chubb, Fournette, Dillon, Pollard. Wide receivers are Adams, Michael Thomas. Man, what can you do? Michael Thomas and Fournette for one better player is probably what I'm doing, Derek. Yeah, stop drafting Fournette in, multiple teams, bro. I would make that move. That's the only move I can see that's going to get you out of that. Jaden just drafted 12. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Derek. You're the man. You're the man. That's your second team. Look at Derek's super chatting his answers to me. He's such a pro. Derek, appreciate you, good buddy. Derek to the moon.
To the moon.
But let's go a little different than the Fournette stuff. It's just too much Fournette for me. Just drafted tonight, 12 man. Herbert, Aaron Jones, Dobbins. I don't like Dobbins. Singletary, Adams, Pittman. They need something. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Jaden.
Mashed potatoes.
Jaden, good job, pal. I like it. I just don't like JK. I feel like the running backs are a little thin, and Pittman again is that guy that when you take him too early, it leaves a hole somewhere. And then I like a DK in round 5 instead of a Pittman in round 3 when it affords me the ability to get another player in round 3 to pair with my DK to make the lineup look a lot more balanced. You know what I'm saying? DK. I'm not saying I would trade or I'd take DK over Pittman. I'm saying the swap of attacking wide receiver in 5 and going after like a Kyle Pitts. Like this team could have Kyle Pitts and DK in that scenario. And J.K. Dobbins is a tough player to trade right now. Nobody wants him. He's questionable for week 1. I'm gonna say Dobbins and Gabe Davis, or Dobbins and Pittman for one better player. And you shoot as high as you can and you start working your way down. I feel like that's the best way to solve that problem there. Because I think you definitely need to make a move. I don't think it's a team that's going to win right away, but you're one move away. It's not horrible. 12-man PPR, rate my team. Hurts, Swift, Dillon, Chase, Amon-Ra, Pitts, Pierce. I like that a lot. Dillon, and you got B. You got B on the bench. He's got B on the bench. Elijah Moore, Dameon Pierce. I just saw Dameon Pierce. So your team looks like this. Your team is as follows, bro. I know you know it, but we need to write it out. So Hurts, Swift, Dameon Pierce. I don't know why you don't want Pierce higher on your list here. You're trying to surprise me at the end. You got Dillon. I mean, Dillon and Pierce. I kind of like Pierce right now over Dillon. Chase, St. Brown. You got B on the bench. Pitts. And then who's your other player? Dillon. Like Dillon as your flex, or I don't know what your lineup is exactly, but Dillon is your flex. So your quarterbacks, your 2 running backs, your 2 wide receivers, your flex, your tight end. I love Elijah Moore. If you've got to use a 3rd wide receiver, I think he's very sneaky. It's a really good team. Elijah Moore. Am I trading Elijah? I don't think you need to make any trades. I think you roll this out, but would I potentially look to trade like Dillon? I like St. Brown so much, but what could you get for this package? St. Brown and Dillon. You know, could you reach for the stars and get some kind of like elite wide receiver 1? Past that, I'm rolling the team out. Sometimes it's better to leave it, man. Sometimes it's better not to move some of those sleeper pieces that you got. I really like your team, so I don't know that I want you messing with it too much. Thank you again for the super chat. Appreciate you. William, I think I got... Oh, no, I got yours on the screen right now. William, Burrow, Chase, Adams, Connor, Mitchell, Kittle, Pierce. Traded Adams and Connor for Javonte and Lamb. You smashed it, bro. Absolute smash. Smitty approved. One of the better trades I've heard all night.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Unbelievable. Javonte and Lamb for his Adams and Connor. I love it. I love it. So now you've got Burrow. Who's your running back 1? So Javonte now. Pierce. Adams. Or no, Lamb. Mitchell, Kittle. That's really good, man. That's really good. Javonte, Pierce, Lamb, Mitchell, Kittle, Burrow. Yeah, roll it out, man. Great trade. Hit the waiver wire. You still could use a little bit of cushion room. You do that, and you're going to separate yourself from everybody. It's like getting NOS or Turbo Boost, at the end of a race. You need that little extra something just to secure it up. Tight end help, 10-team league, half PPR, likely or Hunter Henry. Team is Hurts, Chase, Adams. Okay, yeah, go likely. Take the chance on likely. Take the chance on likely. I really like the idea of getting likely and putting him on the bench at least, and you roll him out if you want to go roll the dice in week 1. But you could just put Hunter Henry in for week 1, or I'm sorry, Hurst or whoever. Be interested in what other tight ends might be available that I may like. I've had people that tell me, oh yeah, Kmet's there. Like Kmet would be a better ad. But likely I would pick up and have at least holding him in case he turns into a top 10 tight end, which he fully could. Our validation does nothing, says Above Orbit. For you, you'd be better off asking some tough questions or waiver wire. are you talking about, bro? Is above being negative? What's he doing here? I don't know. Maybe he's just giving good advice. I don't know. Above, I'm just got my eyeball on you over there. I'm not sure what you're doing. I might have just read the wrong message. I don't know. 10-team PPR. Hurts, Najee, Swift, Javonte. How'd you get this team? Damian Pierce, Steven. You got B. I'm sorry, B. For anybody that missed it, we're calling Rhamondre Stevenson B from now on. I don't. Someone abbreviated him B, so we're rolling with it. What's up, Shotty? Wide receivers are AJ Brown, St. Brown, Sutton, Mooney. I mean, bro, you got like a rock out. Is this a 4-man league? Rock out. I would roll those wide receivers out, or those running backs out. Javonte, Harris, Swift, unbelievable. 10-man team. Come on, how'd you get this in a 10-man team? 10 grandma league. Swift, Javonte, Harris. I mean, what are you gonna even do with Damian Pierce? If you start 4 running backs, like if you got a bunch of flexes, then I keep them a lot, obviously. But you could maybe trade Sutton and Damian Pierce for like an elite wide receiver 1. Past that, if you can start Damian Pierce, you might as well let it ride because your receivers are good enough that you don't even need to make a trade, to be honest. But I would if you could only start 3 RBs because I think you could upgrade that wide receiver spot. Possible moves: Cook, Hill, Elliott, Sutton, Dobbins, Bateman, Ayuk, Michael Carter, and Njoku. Possible moves. I'll probably say Elliott and Sutton for one bigger monster. Elliott and Sutton for go after Javonte, go after Swift. Elliott and Sutton could maybe get you that. If someone's sleeping at the wheel, someone's sleeping at the wheel, you could land that. Appreciate your super chat. I didn't stand up for that.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Appreciate you. This super chat is from Loso. Loso says, 12-man PPR, Burrow, Najee, Amon-Ra. Aaron Jones. I thought that was Amon-Ra. Burrow, Najee, Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, Freiermuth, Breece Hall. Bench is Gabe Davis, Knox, Claypool. Okay. Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen, Deontay. Not super high on Deontay, and maybe you took him high. Breece Hall's pretty good. So maybe Deontay wasn't taken too far out of place. I mean, I love Najee. I love Aaron Jones. I love Burrow. I like Keenan Allen a lot. Yeah, Deontay probably wasn't taken too high, actually. But I would try and trade Deontay. I like Breece Hall a lot, but I'd explore Deontay and Breece Hall. See what you could get. Try and reach into a round 2 player. Yeah, Breece Hall and Deontay. I wonder if you could get a Diggs or Debo. I wonder if Debo would be worth that. Deontay and Breece Hall for Debo, probably. I'd probably go get Debo. I'd probably go try and get Diggs. Shoot for the moon. Everybody's saying like you can't get that. You can't get that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I've seen it happen, and I see it happen every day. We reach for the stars when we do a trade. We don't settle for an even Steven trade. I help people get these trades done all the time. Look at the trade that we got earlier, St. Brown for Javonte. What if that guy came in here that traded St. Brown for Javonte, and he asked all of us, do you think I could get Javonte for using my St. Brown? And we all told him, you're crazy. Don't even offer it. Then he would never have had it. These people do trades like this all the time. All the time. So shoot for the moon. I like Breece Hall. Not saying I don't like him, but I'd trade Deontay Johnson and Breece Hall for a elite second round wide receiver like Diggs or maybe Debo, but definitely Diggs. Lamb would be another player that I would consider. Those are good moves in my opinion for that team, just to get that little extra something. Little extra itty bitty something. Derek, again, I appreciate you, my man. Rock out. You missed the other super chat. Tell a guy to take a lap. You missed my other super chat. Tell a guy to take a lap. Let me see. Rock out. Thank you, William, for your super chat again. Appreciate you. Thank you, Jeff. Rock out. 10 team Hurts, Najee, Swift, Javonte. Okay, got that one. Thank you, Raul. Appreciate you. Thanks again, Loso. Appreciate you. He who collects. Ramos. Victor. Rock out. Says, got a trade offer for my A.J. Brown for Higgins. I take A.J. Brown. Rock out over Higgins personally, but I could understand anybody wanting to take that other side. Appreciate your super chat. Zach, any moves? Lance, Javonte, Barkley, Chase, Waddle, Pitts, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Pierce, man. You got Pierce. I mean, you're looking good. I mean, you could take, would I trade Barkley and Waddle for one monster, like Javonte, Barkley and Waddle for Javonte, Barkley and Waddle for Swift, Barkley and Waddle for Najee Harris, Barkley and Waddle for Eckler. I mean, as you get up, it's going to be harder to do it, but shoot for the moon. Don't listen to anybody in the chat telling you not to make these offers because they're crazy. Make them. Make them. Maybe you land it. Maybe you land it. Barkley and Waddle can get you a lot. Think about it. Some people are taking Barkley in round 2. Why can't you reach for somebody at the bottom of round 1 using an additive like Waddle? You should be able to ask for a round 1 player. Waddle, Barkley, upgrade this team, and you're taking it to the league safe office and asking them for an advance. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Mark, appreciate your super chat here. And Rock Out, thank you again, Rock Out, for that super chat, my man, my good buddy. And this one's for Mark.
Mashed potatoes!
Mark, kind sir. Mark says, how's this 12-team standard? Burrow, Chase, A.J. Brown, Pickens, Nico Collins, Waller, Knox, Etienne, Javonte. This is good. Let's write this out. Let's see if there's anything else we can tell Mark to do. Because this is a good team, bro. Burrow, Chase, A.J. Brown. Burrow, Chase, A.J.B. Pickens, Collins, Etienne, Javonte, Pollard, Dylan. Damn. Javonte, Etienne, Pollard, Dylan. Am I missing anybody significant? Dylan, Pollard, Etienne, Waller. The thing is, like, even if you could upgrade this spot right here, what are you going to use to do it? I don't want you to trade any of these guys. Like, would I trade Waller? Like, could you get, who's your backup tight end? Knox. Yes. Okay, there's the ticket. There it is. Start Knox. 8 to 10 TD capable. You're going to trade Waller and Pollard or Dylan. Or Dilly. Pollard or Dilly for one running back or wide receiver, assuming that you have a flex spot that and if it's like a wide receiver spot for sure, then trade for a wide receiver. You should be able to get a decent player using Waller and Pollard or Waller and Dilly. Dylan's going in round 4 sometimes. There's no reason you can't trade Dylan and Waller for a really, really big gun. I'm doing that all day long. All day long. And there's Waller and Dylan for a second round player is totally doable. Waller and Dylan for Diggs is possible. Waller and Dylan for Lamb is possible. Waller and Dylan for, you've already got Javonte. Try for Swift. Try for it. Swift sometimes goes at pick 15. If Waller's going in round 4 or 5 and Dylan's going in 4, those are 2 4th round players in some people's minds. Why can't you go get a second round player? Very, very good. Very good squad. K Woods. OG says 12 team QB Murray, running backs JT, Lenny, Brees, Hall, Herbert, Gainwell, wide receivers DJ Moore, St. Brown, Christian Kirk. Trade DJ Moore and Lenny for Swift, Javonte, Najee, Eckler. DJ Moore and Lenny for Diggs or anybody above. Easy. Pitts, love the Pitt. You got a really good team. I just want to upgrade that wide receiver. I'd like to upgrade DJ Moore using Lenny. And you got Breece Hall. You're probably better off going after a running back if you're going to get rid of Lenny, because you can throw St. Brown up there in the wide receivers with then again, you're going to create a hole there. That's fine. I don't care. I'd still upgrade. Work the waiver wire. St. Brown, Kirk. You could, or you could leave it. I mean, you could let it ride. I mean, it's a good team. It's well-rounded. You could trade DJ Moore. You could trade. Oh, you got Hall. So JT and Hall. Go for a wide receiver. JT and Hall. Trade DJ Moore and Lenny for a wide receiver. You could get anybody from Diggs or above, I believe. You shoot for it at least. That would be a good team because you got Breece Hall. You're fine. For a minute there, I forgot you had Breece Hall. Super flex QB Hurts, Davis Mills. I like Davis Mills as that second quarterback. Second QB is Matt Ryan, I think you're saying. Running back Najee, Barkley, ETN. I love ETN and Najee. Walker, Herbert, nice depth there. Debo, T. Higgins, Sutton, flex, Goddard. There's not much to do here. I mean, Sutton and Barkley for an elite first-round player. Other than that, let it ride. Let it ride. Barkley straight up for Javonte. Barkley straight up for Swift. Add in Elijah Moore. Add in, something small. Add in Walker. I love Walker, but am I throwing Walker in with Sutton to upgrade into Diggs? Sure. I don't think you're going to get that. Debo? Sure. Tyreek Hill? Give me Tyreek Hill over Sutton and Walker. Or throw Sutton into Barkley to upgrade him into a first-round running back, even if it's the late first round. Very, very easy move there, in my opinion. That's the move I would make without hesitation, without equivocation. Very, very simple and very doable, in my opinion. Hudson with a $10 hauler. Landon with a $10 hauler. And the Observer with a $5 hauler all at once.
Mashed potatoes!
All three of you. Yeah, buddy. 1, 2, 3. Appreciate you, good buddies. This question is from Sports. Sports says, hey, Smitty. For Debo Chase, Pittman fleeced him last year. This is like code that I'm reading here. Herbert, Javonte, Aaron Jones, JJ. This guy writes only in code. I imagine when you text, it's very, very complicated for somebody that doesn't text with you very often. It's just like code, bro. What are we doing here? Is this HTML or is this JavaScript? Like, what are we looking at? Prince Philly, no trade for Debo. What? Prince Philly, no trade for Debo. Chase Pitts fleeced him last year, LOL. Herbert, Javonte, Aaron Jones, Jets, Cook, so JJ Cooks, Everett, ETN, Renfro, Thielen. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't know what I'm trying. Can somebody translate this for me? Crazy World, we just passed 13 subs, on our way to 20. Can somebody translate this for me? Like I feel like maybe I'm getting older. I think this might have been a sign. I no longer know how to, to decipher. What are we looking at here? What are you looking at here? The Observer? I don't know what I'm staring at. Let's come back to that. I'm gonna let somebody translate that for me. Landon with the $10 hauler. Appreciate you, Landon. Landon to the moon.
To the moon.
I'm also gonna send the Observer to the moon for being number one. Appreciate
to
you.
the moon.
You skipped mine. Hector, I'm sorry. I'll go find it. I'm not trying. Hector, I'm clearly not trying to skip anybody. Super. You just got to tell me. There it is. Thank you. I got you on there. K Woods, I think I took care of. Hobbs, I took care of. Michael. All right. Landon. Help me package Singletary off my team. Hurts, Swift, ETN, Lamb, Hollywood, AJ Brown, Gabe Davis, Damian Pierce, Kenneth Walker, Russell Gage, Jalen Tolbert, Zamir White, and I have B-Rob. You have B-Rob on IR. Help you package Singletary off your roster. First of all, Singletary is not a very attractive buy right now. So I don't really know what you're going to get for Singletary, bro, to be honest with you. But Swift, ETN, Lamb, Hollywood Brown, AJ Brown, Hurts, absolutely love it. Gabe Davis is very undervalued. Damian Pierce. You don't really need to make very many moves. I mean, and I don't know that Singletary's getting you anything. But if you traded Singletary and Gabe Davis, which I don't know is a very attractive package, given that they both play for the same team. Hobbs with another super chat, and Jay Rillo with a $10 hauler. Appreciate you guys all. You're all going
To the moon.
Congratulations. I'll stand up and give you the proper standing ovation when I go to your question. Terry Roberts dropping the $5 hauler. Terry, glad to see you here, and thank you for the congrats on the 13K. We're doing it live. Gabe Davis and Singletary, sure, maybe somebody takes the two. But you might be better off trading Hollywood Brown and Singletary for maybe a slightly better wide receiver than Hollywood Brown, like a St. Brown, something like that. AJ Brown and Singletary, maybe somebody gives you Tyreek Hill. You know, maybe you can upgrade ETN into a slightly better running back, like, you know, Swift or something. Maybe, not using Singletary, probably not, but maybe you could give Gabe Davis and ETN for Swift, or Gabe Davis and something like that. But past that, man, I mean, your team's great. I don't know that you need to make any trades. I don't think anybody's coming knocking for Singletary. He's just a really hard player to trade. Thank you, Terry. There's a big explosion outside. That was crazy. The whole studio shook. I don't know if you guys heard that. Probably not, but it was like slow explosion. You know, like when a real explosion happens, it's like 4 days. Let's go. One more draft. Attaboy. Appreciate you, Terry. Terry with the $5 hauler.
Mashed potatoes!
Thank you, Terry. Jay Rillo says picked 8th in a 10-man PPR. Okay. Let's get to your super chat here. Thank you. $10 hauler from Jay Rillo.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Jay Rillo dropping it. Please rate my team. Eckler, Javonte, fire. Lamb, fire. 10-man league? Is it a 10-man, 8-man, picked 8th in a 10-man league? This is a 10-man league. Eckler, Javonte. Did people fall asleep during this draft? Eckler, Javonte, CeeDee Lamb, Higgins, St. Brown, Schultz, Deontay. I don't mind that Deontay Johnson value. Pollard in 9. You got to get Pollard in like 6 or 7 right now. Dak in 10 is fantastic. That's a great team, bro. St. Brown's fantastic. I love that. Very good. Running backs for out the gate. CeeDee Lamb, Higgins, and St. Brown. There's nothing to do here. There's nothing to do. Do you shop Pollard? Probably not, because guess what? People didn't draft him. He fell to the 9th round. You didn't draft him until the 9th round, so no one's going to give up anything. They saw him on the board. Hunt's not going to get you anything. He lasted on the board. There's not a move to make here, really, because you can't upgrade your running backs, really. You can't. You could upgrade Higgins a little bit, but using what? You know, Deontay? Is someone going to really take 2 wide receivers for 1 wide receiver? Maybe you could explore it. I'm not trading the running backs. I'm not trading Lamb. I'm on Ross St. Brown. I kind of just like. I don't know that I want to trade him. Schultz is fine. Deontay and Schultz for Kyle Pitts or Kelsey, and I'm worried a little bit about Kelsey this year. I mean, maybe try something like that on a tight end upgrade, but past that, you don't need to do a thing. That team is fire, bro. That's probably a 9 out of 10. Hobbs says, let the team ride or trade for a wide receiver in your opinion. For the team that you dropped earlier, which was this team right here. Again, I'm trading Lenny if I can. I'm trading, I think, like my recommendation, Lenny and DJ Moore for a player that's at the top of or bottom of round 1. Swift. You should be able to get Swift or Najee or even Javonte pretty easily using Fournette and DJ Moore. Because Fournette's a second rounder to a lot of people. I disagree with it, but he is a second rounder to a lot of people. Michael, Hurts, Tua, I believe, Tia. Good old Tia, Hurts and Tia, Swift, Javonte, Pollard, Jacobs, Gordon. I love autocorrect's at the end of us. Autocorrect's getting people fired probably every day. Some of the things I've sent people, I look down at it, I'm like, oh my God. Autocorrect's the end of us. Yeah, we all have the control to turn it off, but we're too lazy to not allow us the ability to maybe suggest a word once every 15 times we use it, right? Everybody goes to turn off autocorrect. You grab your phone, you're like, that autocorrect, I'm done with it. And then you're about to turn it off and you sit there and you go, and you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't turn off autocorrect. Can you? I can't. I always sit there and I contemplate it and I never turn it off. What if I need it? What? I can do a better job. I'll just do a better job. Instead of turning off autocorrect, I'm just going to do a better job and I'll pay more attention, and you don't. And then you get fired. Huggins. It just gets better. Huggins, Mike Williams. I like your wide receivers, even though they're underrated, right? Javonte and Swift, you don't really need to do anything, bro. Your team's fine. There's nothing really to trade, no offense, but like White, no one is taking White. No one's taking Gordon. Jacobs and Higgins for maybe an AJ Brown, if you even like that better. Some people like Higgins more. That's the only thing I can think of. Jacobs throwing into Mike Williams or throwing into Higgins, maybe you get a tiny upgrade. Jacobs and Knox for a Kyle Pitts, like you're not going to probably get it, but like I try for those things or I leave it alone. Assuming all those names are correct and it is Higgins and not Huggins. But absolutely appreciate your super chat. Hector with a $5 holler. Hector.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Appreciate you, Hector. Hector says Jay Hurts, Najee, Javonte Williams, Waddle, AJ Brown, Mark Andrews, Pierce. Do I trade Mark for Swift? Absolutely trade Mark Andrews for Swift in a heartbeat, even if you have to give up a little bit more. Also try to get Mike Williams, or is it balanced enough? I mean, AJ Brown's a really good wide receiver 1 in this situation. And as long as you have a little bit of depth, I don't see your depth on here, but I assume you have some good depth. I would trade for Mike Williams, but not using Mark Andrews. No, I would go get Swift. If you've got to give up a little more too, I don't know what you have on your bench, but I would certainly give up a bench piece to get that upgrade and get into Swift. Absolutely. Easy call. Probably the easiest question I've been asked for the last half hour. Zinski, out of 200, how much would you spend for JJ? 55 to 60? And then Chase like 55 to 58, something like that. They're both worth, I would say 55. Like try and go around 55. Did we get a translation for this one? Observer, are you here? Steve. Appreciate you, Steve. We've got Observer. Here we go. Got the Observer. We got Trillo over here. Appreciate you, our Trillo. J Rillo. We got Terry, J Rillo. I think I'm caught up. If I missed anybody's super chat, please let me know. Steve, I got yours on here. So the Observer is clarifying. What trade for CeeDee Lamb? Can't trade for Debo or Chase. Okay. Thank you for translating your own. My bad, bro. What trade for CeeDee Lamb? Can't trade for Debo or Chase. Okay. So for CeeDee Lamb, no trade for Debo Chase. Okay, now I get it. Pittman. Okay, fleeced fleeced him last year, so the guy you're trading with, you can take advantage of. I'm starting to translate this pretty well. Herbert, Javonte, Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, Cooks, Everett, ETN. I like ETN. Thielen, DJ. I think that's DJ Moore, and then Chase Edmonds, I think is. So Edmonds is a great sell. I would trade, if that's DJ Moore, I think that's DJ Moore. It says DJ Sand, but I think you're just saying DJ and Edmonds, I believe. I think the S at the end of Edmonds is before the A and D. I don't know what happened, bro. This was in your pocket for a few minutes and you just hit send after, but something got cut and pasted around. I don't know. But I think it's DJ Moore and Edmonds. I trade DJ Moore for CD. You could trade. I don't think you could trade DJ Moore and Edmonds, but you could always try. Cooks and Edmonds. DJ Moore and Edmonds. You could trade ETN for him, but like at this point, I would. I mean, you're taking Lamb at 12 or 13 or 14 overall. Would I trade ETN and Edmonds ultimately for, or ETN and DJ Moore ultimately for Lamb? Maybe try and get something else. I probably would, but I would certainly try and give him Edmonds and DJ Moore, Edmonds and Cooks. I'd give him DJ Moore, Cooks, and Edmonds all for Lamb. You know. So I would try that, but I ultimately would trade ETN. I mean, ETN's a high. You're taking a little bit of a risk. You're reaching a tiny bit by taking ETN in round 3. Lamb's a top 12 to 15 overall pick. What do I think about David Bell and Olave late? I don't love David Bell until his situation feels secure. I like Olave late, but do I picture myself starting him? Not anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? And this $9 hauler, let's see here. Where am I? Everything's missing on my screen here. There we go. Let's get out of the screen here. Because we still got some news to do. So Hudson's question here. Can you rate my team 1 to 10 and give me some pointers? 12-man, ESPN, full PPR. Hurts, Dalvin Cook, Swift, Pittman, Sutton, Pitts, Pierce. Very, very, very good team. I would say like you're like a 7, and I don't give that out like as if it's a bad score. There's just always room for improvement typically with teams. And when you look at your team, I would say Hurts, Dalvin Cook, Swift. That's a very strong core. Pittman is a tiny bit early for a wide receiver 1, in my opinion. Sutton and Pitts are kind of like equals in that. They're an amazing wide receiver 2. But you went early quarterback, or early running back, double. You doubled down on the running backs. You went running back, Cook and Swift. So granted, you're going to have a little bit of a light wide receiver room when you have Pitts on top of that. You've got Dameon Pierce, which was a phenomenal pick on your part. I give your team a B, actually. A B-. I think Sutton. It's hard to trade with this team though, because it's got a lot of big names and then a lot of smaller names. You don't have a lot of in between. So essentially, when you want to make a trade, you got to trade somebody you like. And Dameon Pierce and Sutton for a big time second round player. Dameon Pierce and Sutton might even get you a DeAndre Swift or a Javonte. I mean, and you got Swift already, so Javonte. It doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, Javante's going sometimes in late round 2. Some of us love Javonte so much we balk at that and laugh at it. But Sutton's going in round 3 sometimes, way too early. And Dameon Pierce is going in round 4. Like, you could trade Sutton and Pierce for a Javonte pretty easily, I think. And I probably would take that, in my opinion. Now, you don't have to if you like your team. Just roll with it, but that's where I would go, and I'd say you're about a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Dameon Pierce is a big move for you, a big land. It really made that team. It did the difference, man. Check the chat for my team. Who should I trade? Ray. Okay, Ray, I got you right here. Hobbs, appreciate you. Hobbs says 12-team QB, Allen, Barkley, Brees Hall, Pierce. Wide receivers are J.J. Waddle, St. Brown. Very good team. Cole Kmet. Yeah, man. St. Brown, Jefferson are your wide receiver 1 and 2. Waddle's expendable. Barkley. I mean, I'd explore trading. I'd explore trading Barkley and Waddle for like a first-round big gun. And if you can't do that, then Waddle and Brees Hall. Waddle and Brees Hall for, I mean, you should be able to get like a round 1-2 turn player, I would think, for that. Brees Hall and Waddle's a pretty decent package for somebody like Javonte, for somebody like Swift. Barkley and Waddle, Barkley a second rounder to some people, Waddle a fourth rounder. You should be able to get almost mid first round return on that. That's kind of where my mind goes. Thank you, Hobbs. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you, Friendly. I appreciate you, Friendly. Out here grinding. We're an hour and 40 minutes in. Okay, so this team, thank you again, Ray, for the super chat. Ray, the man. Hobbs, the man.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. My Matt Ryan, Derek Carr, assuming this is super flex, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Robert Woods, not interested in Woods, Gage, not interested in Gage, Dawson Knox, CeeDee Lamb, MR. Who's MR? Who's MR? Now, what are we doing here? B is Rhamondre Stevenson. Oh, Ryan Tannehill. Who's M then? You got CeeDee Lamb, M.R. Tannehill. Who's M? I don't know. Ray, who's M? CeeDee Lamb, comma, M.R. Tannehill. There's just an M in there. Okay, Nick Chubb. McLaurin, St. Brown. Very, very good team. Very good. Sure, adversity. Trade away Waddle and ETN for A.J. Brown and CEH. No, give me Waddle and ETN. Michael Gallup. Could it be Gallup? M. Michael Gallup. M. Monty. Terry upgraded his membership to the $9.99 plan. Atta boy, Terry. Terry's scary. He's scary. Terry's on. Where's my Terry button? Terry's on patrol.
Terry, he's scary. Terry's on patrol. Terry's on patrol.
Blake with the $9 hauler. Blake, whoops. Blake with the $9 hauler. Terry.
To the moon.
Terry and Blake to the moon. M is a comma. It's next to the comma. Okay, so anyway, whatever. We'll move on. M's nothing. Matt Ryan, Carr, Aaron Jones, Taylor. First of all, you got two amazing running backs. You get two very efficient quarterbacks. Would I like to upgrade one of them with some depth? Sure. Knox is a great tight end. CeeDee Lamb, Tannehill up for the quarterbacks. Chubb. So you have Chubb, Taylor, Aaron Jones. Very good running backs. Wide receivers are Lamb, Hollywood Brown, McLaurin. You got a great team. You got a great team. Hollywood Brown and Chubb for Javonte or Swift is my move. Or Javonte. Chubb and Hollywood for Javonte or Swift. Chubb and Hollywood for, Najee, of course, I would try and shoot high. Chubb and, since you've got Taylor and Aaron Jones, you could go after a wide receiver. Chubb and Hollywood for a Diggs or an Adams or, anybody higher, obviously, or right around there. That's where I'm going with that. My man Blake over here, rate my team second overall pick out of 10. QBs are Brady, Wilson. I'm assuming this is a super flex. Running backs are Christian McCaffrey, Swift, ETN. Wide receivers Keenan Allen, Waddle, London, Hopkins, Kittle. Very good team. Love the running backs. They're very, very good considering the quarterbacks you have. Look, I don't know that you can do anything looking at your depth. It's Hopkins and Waddle for one slightly better wide receiver, or Hopkins and Keenan Allen for one slightly better wide receiver. The only other thing you could do is maybe divide up CMC into, Javonte and a wide receiver that you really like. You could even throw back a player too. Like if the CMC owner, or I'm sorry, the Javonte owner had like a Jamar Chase and you're trading CMC and Waddle for Jamar Chase and Javonte. You know what I mean? So depending on who the Javonte owner has, or maybe the Najee owner has, I would trade CMC into Javonte or into Najee if it meant upgrading my Waddle into a bigger wide receiver. Past that, you're pretty good and you don't have a whole lot to work with. You just have a lot of big names and a lot of lower names, and there's not much you can do until some players gain some value. But you've got Kittle as a nice balance piece. I really like the team. Hopkins coming back. No reason you have to make any moves. Keenan Allen and Waddle can hold their own. Swift, ETN, Brady, Wilson, Kittle. It's very well rounded. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 easy. And work that waiver wire, and boom, you've got it. You don't even need to make a move. You don't need to make a move. It's a really, really good team. Thank you, Blake, for the super chat. Thank you, Hobbs. Thank you, Ray. I think I'm caught up. If I missed anybody's super chat, I've got Stevens. Thank you, Steven. I said earlier, Olave. I think I'm caught up. Let me hit some questions in the chat. Real quickly, this piece of news, we'll talk about this tomorrow. This might be the open. Nyheim Hines. ESPN's reporting, don't be surprised if Colts running back Nyheim Hines sets career highs in catches this season. It's a little bit of a concern to hear that, and it's not the first time we've heard it. So I feel like, thank you, Shoddy, for the super chat. I'll look for a question in case you have one. Shoddy, appreciate you, Shoddy.
Mashed potatoes!
Shoddy, the man. Don't be shocked if my video tomorrow on the open for the news show will be about just some questions about JT. Not necessarily that you're passing on him at 1.1, but some alternatives, thinking. And I might surprise you a little bit. Alec Pierce should see more targets than Paris Campbell. I agree with that. I already talked about this at the open. Isaiah Likely is the closest thing to a wide receiver 3, according to the Athletics. Jeff Zerbiak. So, take that with a grain of salt, but I do believe that makes sense. Highest likely breakout sleeper of 2022 in your opinion? There's so many, bro. There's so many. 221 people in here, 161 likes. Hit that like button. Let me pull up some rankings and just look at it, but it's like, there's so many good players. To narrow it down to like one or something is hard to do. If I go to my best in each round rankings, that will help me kind of identify somebody. I'm going to say breakout. You could call Javonte a big name breakout because I think he's going to be the number 1, number 2, or number 3 running back in the NFL, and he's getting drafted in the second round, sometimes late second, sometimes third. So if that doesn't qualify as a breakout, then somebody needs to redefine breakout, because that is the definition of a breakout. Probably the number 1 breakout in fantasy football 2022, Javonte Williams, going from a late second, sometimes third round pick to the number 1 overall running back. That's the definition of breakout. That's my opinion. I think Pitts has a nice little breakout, but he's a big name player. I think Amon-Ra breaks out, but people are paying the piper for him now. Dameon Pierce is going to break out. We've been saying that for weeks. Now he's climbing up ADPs. Get ready to pay the piper for that. Tony Pollard breakout season. Give me Tony Pollard. Give me Elijah Moore breakout season, even though he kind of already did that. I love him a lot. Jalen Hurts is going to break out. Dylan could break out. Isaiah Likely could break out. Khalil Herbert could. Algier, Zamir White, Rashad White, Kenneth Walker, Davis Mills, just to name a few. But great question. Zinski with a super chat. Where do you have Pitts if you don't need to start a tight end? That's a really good question. If I don't need to start a tight end, let me look at the rankings real quick and see where I would put them in my redraft rankings. That's a tough one. If you don't need to start a tight end, he's a wide receiver. Where am I ranking Kyle Pitts? That is a very, very good question. I'm trying to pull it up real quickly. Hopefully my internet's not cutting out. 216 in the room, 167 thumbs up. Thoughts on Kirk? I like him as a wide receiver, like 4 or 5, but that's about it. Let's see here. Yeah, if you guys want rankings, Terry's correct. Terry is correct. The Fantasy Football Show. Go check it out. I'll pin the link. Thank you, Terry. Out of wide receivers, I put Kyle Pitts around like 20. 18 to 20. It's hard to put him higher because you're talking about Keenan Allen, Higgins, Pittman, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Williams. I mean, DK Metcalf. He'd have to go behind after those guys, but like really like 20. 20 is pretty impressive too. Like, could he rank in the top 10 for wide receivers like Kelsey's been? Sure. But I think you got to draft him smartly if you're in that situation. But it's a great question. Keys asked, I'm a drop question for you in the chat. Okay. Let me look. Montgomery, Javonte, Debo, Chase, Kyle Pitts, Judy. That's my starters. My bench is Lance, Cam Akers, CEH, Dameon Pierce. I love Dameon Pierce, Michael Thomas. You must have another question somewhere. Rate my team. I don't know. You might have to repost it, bro. If this isn't it here. Debo, Javonte. Can you ask it again? So that's my starters. My bench is Lance, Cam Akers, CEH, Pierce. I like the team a lot, bro. Javonte, Debo. I mean, how do you get Javonte, Debo, Chase, and Kyle Pitts? That's crazy. It's crazy. David Montgomery, Russell Wilson. I sell Monty and Judy for a better player. I wonder if you could get like a Monty and Judy. I mean, even like an AJ Brown or a Debo. You know, you could easily probably get one of those players. You know what I'm saying? Shoddy, how can I help you, Shoddy? Smitty, who are your top 3 running backs and top 3 wide receivers? I have a draft tomorrow at 1 p.m. Top 3 running backs, JT. This is what we're talking about tomorrow on the show. It's Javonte, but you can't take him 3. You know, if you're drafting at like the 4 pick or 5 pick, you can't take Javonte there. So you're trading down, or you're just going to have to, go a different direction. You're going to go wide receiver or something if you don't like the running backs. Rankings wise, it's Jonathan Taylor, Najee, Swift, Eckler are my top guys there. And I kind of bounce back and forth between which one's going to go 2 and 3 and 4. Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Kupp, and probably either Adams, Diggs, or Lamb. And I go back and forth with those 3 wide receivers. So it just kind of jumps around, bro. It's not something that's fluid. It's constantly fluid. But thank you, Shoddy, for the question. And let us know how you do. We're here for you during the show if you need to call for anything. I'm probably going to end the show tonight right now. Zinski. Appreciate you, Zinski. I think I've answered everything. I'm tired. It's Sunday night, too. Hour and 53 minutes. Appreciate everybody. Malik Willis, L Buddy, says Donnie. What's that mean? What's that mean, L Donnie? Malik Willis, L Buddy. What do you mean, L Buddy? Why is that an L? Why is that an L? Explain to me, Donnie, why Malik Willis. Is it my video you're talking about? My short where I said Malik Willis is one of the best super flex moves you can make right now in a super flex. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all. Get some sleep. You work too hard for us. You bet, broski. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Yeah, some people get good teams, bro. It's crazy, man. All right, later. Peace out. See you tomorrow. If there's breaking news, I'll go live early, but if not, you'll see me at 7 p.m. Eastern. Later. Don't forget to get the one-on-one text advice, the bold predictions, the trade calculator, the articles, all of it at thefantasyfootballshow.com. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Thanks, Slayer. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Hector. Dan, also known as, I think we call him Ben. Slayer, Terry. Appreciate you, Terry. Thank you, Ramos, for the super chats. Appreciate you, Ramos. Yeah, B. Pick up B. Shoddy. You're the man, Shoddy. I have 7 pick in a 10-man league. I'm liking Jamar Chase, Shoddy. I'm liking Najee or Swift. I go Swift at 7. I'm not scared. And I love going Chase if he falls, or Cup. Cup could fall because of the Stafford stuff. And then going Javonte with your second-round pick. And in a 10-man, you might pull that off. I will see you all later. I'm tempted to go on the Dynasty channel real quick. Should we go on the Dynasty channel real quick? Let me come back real quick. Hold on a second. Should we go on the Dynasty channel briefly? I'm thinking maybe we do. Let's go on the Dynasty channel for just 5 to 8 minutes. I'll see you over there. Tripod attaboy, David. Later.